SWTOR FTW Weekly, your ultimate news source for Star Wars The Old Republic. Powered by AskAJedi.com. Boom, sucko! What's up, everybody? AWOL here from FTW Broadcasting. Very excited to bring you another episode of my favorite show, SWTOR FTW Weekly News. And if you're not already familiar with this show, I bring you everything that happened in Star Wars The Old Republic over the last week in about 15 minutes, so you don't have to search the entire internet to get that information. You ready? Let's dive right into it. And here we are on AskAJedi.com, and Gamescom 2011 is here already. In fact, it's next week, folks. And before the big conference happens, by the way, one of the biggest video game conferences in the world, if you didn't already know that, all the major gaming companies are doing press conferences to get everybody hyped for the releases and the information that they're going to drop at Gamescom. EA is not going to be an exception. They're going to be talking about Star Wars The Old Republic, no doubt, in addition to their other titles. On Tuesday, August 16th at 10 a.m. EDT, they're going to be doing a live webcast. And if you want to check out that webcast, you can head on over to the official EA Gamescom 2011 website, and they'll be doing a live stream there, a live webcast there. Links in the video description below for you. But let's check out all the information that we know for sure about Gamescom. As you know, it's going to be happening from August 18th through the 21st in Cologne, Germany, and it is one of the biggest conferences in the world, so let's speculate what is going to be released by EA, BioWare, and LucasArts about this game. Well, we know that there's going to be an EA booth with a hands-on where players are going to be able to get into the Origin worlds, and some lucky people are going to be able to play Alderaan PvP Warzones. I'm super jealous. If any of you out there are going to be attending this and going to that, please post in the comments below. Also, they'll be running demonstrations of Eternity Vault, which we've already seen that before. There's an Eternity Vault trailer out there. One of my videos contains that. That's going to be a high-level operation that's going to be on the show floor. You can keep up with this by following the official Twitter and Facebook pages for this conference, and also you can just go to Gamescom.com, and links in the video description below. You can check out all of the other action out there as well. It's not just about Star Wars The Old Republic, but of course that's what we're concerned with most. And here's an important question to ask yourself and to answer to your loved ones. How many hours per week will you plan to play Tor? And personally, I'm probably looking between 10 and 20 hours. However, there's been an ongoing thread on the forums where they've been polling players, how much are you going to play? The results actually shocked me in some cases. And here they are. What's your weekly dosage plan for SWTOR? 0 to 10 hours coming in at 8%. Which is actually one of the lowest numbers. 10 to 20 hours coming in at 24%. 20 to 30 also coming in at 24%. So the two most popular answers here are between 10 and 30 hours. I fall somewhere between that range. Post in the comments below if you know where you fall. 30 to 40 hours coming in at 14%. The least popular answers are 40 to 50 and 50 to 60. However, here's the shocker. 60 plus hours coming in at 17.8%, a huge chunk of people saying that they will be able to dedicate 60 plus hours of their time to this game. I think that's pretty amazing. That means that you're spending every free moment of your time outside of work and school playing. If you fall in that category, post in the comments below. That is hardcore. Also, you can vote here on AskAJedi.com and see how the community is voting. The folks over at Cowen Financial Group have decided to reanalyze Star Wars The Old Republic based on pre-order sales, and they're actually bumping the numbers up. They're saying that the game is going to sell 3 million units in the first year, and you saw the predictions in one of my earlier weekly news segments. Doug Krutz is saying that 3 million is going to be the number that's going to be dropped here, and the reason is that the game is trending as good as two of the top-selling titles of last year, like StarCraft 2 and World of Warcraft Cataclysm, which sold about 4 million units. They're tracking the sales on Amazon.com, the pre-order sales, and they're saying that this is going to sell 3 million units, bumping that up from their previous prediction of 2 million, with 1 million following in subscribers. Come check out this article, and it looks like this game's going to be big, folks. And the Friday update this week was chock full of all kinds of good stuff. It's another Fan Friday, and also they gave some Gamescom details, and one of my favorite parts was the fan art that was dropped here. Gen Effects, I think, wins the prize for the coolest artwork. as this is a nice 3D rendering of a Twilight girl on the forest moon of Endor. Take a look at the details here. I mean, this is unbelievably good. And this person definitely has a future in doing 3D rendering and artist renderings. Perhaps BioWare should hire this person. It's a pretty cool looking butterfly there. Anyway, very, very detailed, very nice 3D art, and you can check out the link here on the AskAJedi.com article if you'd like to check out more work from her. Also, there is a French forum goer by the name of Norzali who did some really cool Republic propaganda, and I really like this. Healing is our daily job, but destroying the enemy is our priority, and I really like the propaganda here. This reminded me a lot of like Starship Troopers propaganda, and the detailing and the styling is very, very cool, as there's a version here with red and everybody has guns in that case, and then we have another version here without guns. I really like this propaganda. Really cool artwork there if you want to check that out. Link in the video description below. Also, Tatooine Sunday was posted by Alliant, which is a very, very awesome artist rendering inspired by the E3 Tatooine coverage. It's just a really awesome cinematic panoramic view also. They did some other artist renderings here. Just really, really cool landscapes, very, very detailed, and just obviously such a very talented artist made this. So I really like these Fan Fridays. Also, they highlighted a guild called Chimera, which is an EU-centric French guild. So for all of our French fans out there, come check out this guild. Link in the video description below. I did not hit the translate button, so I don't know what they're saying here on the website, but what I do know is that they're part of Tor Syndicate. So come check this out if you're going to be a French SWTOR player, and get involved with these folks, as they really seem to have their stuff together. And if you get featured in a Fan Friday, that means you are the real deal. Also, in this Friday update, there was some other juicy stuff, and that includes these really awesome wallpapers, which were inspired by the E3 trailer Return. And right here we have this fantastic picture of Malgus with the dual lightsabers looking super, super awesome. And as we scroll down, really, really iconic scene here as Jedi Master Couchen Darek fights off Vindican and Malgus. Notice he's doing the double-sided lightsaber as well as the single. I mean, it was really hardcore, really cool shot here. This is nothing new, but I mean, it's really awesome wallpaper, so I really like it. And then this is the part where Jedi Master Darek flies that giant canister at Malgus, and he just cuts through it and jumps through the air, hardcore style. And Malgus leaps toward him for the final duel in that scene. Very, very nice wallpaper. I like that a lot. And for those of you out there who want to be super nerdy and super hardcore, we've got some cool forum phrases here. And so if you want to say cheers and danger and good post and great update, maybe you should post this in the comments below for my video. Then you can go ahead and use these on the forums. That will make you nerdier than all your friends and all more Star Warsy. So come check these out and win. There we go. Where's the for and the? I can put that together for some FTW action. Come check out all these links in the video description below. So how many of you out there have alt-itis? I know I've had alt-itis before in City of Villains. I've tried out every freaking villain there is in a Ragnarok. How many of you guys have been stricken with so many characters that you never max one out? Well, here's a good question. Will you stick with one character in Tor? And I know this game is going to be such a story-oriented game. I am going to be curious to play all the classes in the game at some point or another. And as we know, in September, there is going to be weekend testing. So if you get in, that would be a good time to test out your classes. So guys, post in the comments below. What's going to be your primary class, and what classes are you interested in playing? Personally, I'm going to start out with a Bounty Hunter, and I'm probably going to go to an Inquisitor alt. But I do plan on trying out all the classes at some point. And an interesting point here is that Damien Schubert has mentioned or alluded to a legacy system as far as, you know, giving you replay value with your characters, and they're encouraging replay here with a legacy system in which they hope to get in, but they aren't going to guarantee anything yet. This might be one of their major announcements that they make, perhaps at Gamescom, or as we get closer to release, maybe New York Comic-Con. They're not prepared to talk about exactly what the legacy system will do, but they do plan to have a legacy system in the game. So the important question is here, folks, will you stick with one character in this game, or are you going to roll with a bunch of different alts? I would answer this most popular answer, actually. I will have a main, but we'll try a few others out, coming in at 66%. However, a big showing, for I plan to max out all the classes and want to experience the breadth of the game, coming in at 27%. The least popular answer, I'm going to stick with one character, period. So clearly people want to bounce around and try out all the different story arcs that are going to be in the game. Videogamer.com scored a short interview with BioWare writing director Daniel Erickson, and they're talking about a number of subjects, one of them being the action bar as being the best way to organize complex series of powers. And what they're saying is they want to give you, obviously, the best possible RPG interface, so they're not going to depart from their rock-solid action bar combat that you saw in Dragon Age. Now, what a lot of people are worried about is stiff combat that doesn't really feel natural or is fast. And what they're saying is that this is going to make far faster fights, evidently, and what they're planning on is nice synchronized animations. You know how they're talking about choreographed combat constantly? And so they're making more dynamic and movement-based combat where, you know, for example, the force push explosions that actually send people flying and that sort of thing. Instead of it saying force push, X damage occurred, they're actually going to show you this awesome stuff occurring. And what they also discussed in this interview was stuff like consoles and, you know, phone apps and that sort of thing, getting in there, and is Old Republic going to cross over to those types of outlets? And what Daniel Erickson says here is that it's not really the best idea until consoles have a rock-solid mouse and keyboard setup in order to standardize things, because MMO players freak out when there is like a difference in DPS between different classes, and therefore they know they will freak out if everything isn't standardized across every platform. But what he did say, which I thought was very, very interesting, that using light console games or iOS games to enhance aspects of your MMO or to explore other takes on the world could be very exciting, and I think this is interesting. And what they're speculating to in this article is perhaps managing your crew skills while you're on your phone, or maybe from your console, or while you're at work. You can manage your characters while you're not actually in the game, so that you can play TOR 24/7, maybe? Maybe that's how you're going to get those 60-plus hours. I don't know. But there's also a cool little comment here in the article. Something that got taken out of context I wanted to highlight, I thought was pretty entertaining. At Comic-Con, one of the Star Wars The Old Republic developers said that the game is going to last for decades, evidently. And can the game actually have that type of longevity? And what Daniel Erickson said here is James Olin was making a joke that got misquoted, and it got taken out of context, and they asked him what steps would they have to take to make this game last for decades, and he said some free beer and pizza would definitely make that happen. I thought that was great. Good to see sense of humor here. Check out the full interview in the video description below. Say goodbye to day and night cycle systems in TOR, folks. I know a lot of people are very upset about this, as they were used to this type of system in other MMOs, other popular MMOs, and what the developers have said about this is that no, they're not going to have it in the game. It was a technical decision because scenes in the game look better if the lighting is consistent. James Olin is saying multiple worlds are in this game with multiple numbers of suns and moons, so it became really, really hard to do a day and night system and make it look good. I can understand the challenges there, but the community is not happy about this. Take a look at the poll. 49% are saying that they are unhappy with BioWare's decision to take out that system, and 32% are saying that they are happy, and 17% saying they're undecided. Personally, I am undecided. It was cool in World of Warcraft to know what time of day it was in the real world, maybe because it was that time of day in the game. I don't know. It is cool to see the world change as you walk around, and maybe to get different experiences through the day and through the night. However, if gameplay is dynamic enough without a day and night system, I would be okay without it. I don't know. I feel like they might be making a mistake here. Maybe this was something they could implement at a later time. And that wraps up this week's SWTOR Weekly News. Thank you so much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. And if you guys click like for this video, it will drop down a little menu. And if you could share this video on Facebook and Twitter, I really appreciate it. And if you subscribe to our channel, that's up in the top left-hand corner. And if you want to check out our playlist, it's up in the top right-hand corner. We have ultimate walkthroughs, weekly news, community highlights, and we're going to have a new show coming out, collaboration between myself and Red Rancor. Super excited about that. Check out our previous episode down in the bottom left, and our next episode down in the bottom right. Thanks so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll see you in the Star Wars universe.